So, as it turns out, using Axiom's feature to place blocks an infinite distance away doesn't work with the mod mocap, which is what I would be using for time lapses out of first-person views. So, while I did have 3 hours worth of footage I would be showing you with a cool time lapse, I can't anymore, which sucks. But anyways, here's my take on Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the horror attraction. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is one of the creepiest locations in the series. An abandoned horror attraction filled with broken props, dark hallways, and one animatronic that definitely shouldn't be there. So, I decided to recreate the entire experience inside of Minecraft and turn it into a horror map. The only problem was, I had absolutely no idea how long this was going to be.
There's no doubting what you've achieved on a technical level. These are clearly state of the art. There are just certain design choices that were made for these robots that we don't fully understand. We were hoping that you could shed some light on those.
She can dance. She can sing. She's equipped with a built-in helium tank for inflating balloons right at her fingertips. She can take song requests. She can even dispense ice cream.
With all due respect, those aren't the design choices we were curious about, Mr. Afton.
Before placing a single block, I needed to figure out how the attraction was actually laid out. So I watched a few tutorials on how haunted mansions are made and what makes them scary. And one of the first things that was brought up was elevation. Elevate the haunted house or the location of the attraction to make it seem bigger than life. So that's what I did. Using Axiom's tool, I raised up the landscape around, and then I decided I would build on top of that. So here I'm just going through trying to smooth it all out and make it look nice, throwing any blocks that are left over that I don't want. So originally the game only shows a security camera system, so a lot of the building isn't fully visible, which meant I had to fill in the gaps and design sections that felt believable while still kind of matching the atmosphere of FNaF 3. But right now I'm trying to lay down a good base and platform for what I think, what would look nice. So I get that down, and while yes, I do initially start with the frame of the building, I then decide, hey, what the heck, let me throw in a big old hand here. It's almost like Springtrap's hand is reaching out of the ground trying to grab something. So as you can see right now, the hand is done, and I will show you that because I have footage of that, but I'm just laying down the path, kind of where you start. I wanted you to walk through a heavily dense forest, make you feel kind of uneasy. You'll see with the shader packs it looks a whole lot better. So now I'm just easing it out, making it look better. Now I'm actually working on the hand, showing you the process. So I have a specific spot that I teleport back to for a very specific angle. This entire thing will be working based on perspective. So, I mean, if you view this build from any other angle, it just won't work, which I find to be hilarious personally. So I'm trying to look at it, kind of looking at my own hand, going back and forth, like, what does that look like? And so I'm shaping out the palm now. If you were to imagine you're holding a ball in your hand and you have the weight of the ball rested on your palm. This is kind of the angle or the shape of the hand that I'm trying to go for here. Is almost as if he's reaching up from the ground, from where he's buried, reaching out into the air. So right now I'm just clearing out all the excess debris and trying to make it look nice. This is sped up to about 500% speed, so it's fast, but man, this took a minute. For the longest time, for the hand, I just couldn't get the proportions right. You'll see it now. The fingers look really tiny from this far away, and then from close up, it looks so crazy. Like it doesn't even look like a hand. So I go in, try to make it look better, but I end up just making it look so weird. And I'm like holding my thumb up, I'm looking at it, I'm like, this looks not right. But I just can't figure out why. But ended up it was all too thick, and so right now I'm trying to even it out by thickening up the main four fingers, and I'm getting them to be around the same size as the thumb, which works, but I still have to clear them out again because now they're connected. They look like a fan, which we don't want. So here it's getting there. I know the thumb still isn't quite there yet, so I remove a bit of it, and this is really just a back and forth process of, does it look good? No, it doesn't. So let me erase all of it. Does that look good? No, not really. So let me erase all of it again. And it's just to a point where I just have to throw enough blocks at it and it will look nice. I decided to erase the entire thing and start from scratch again because it was too bad. I had to start again. So here's a little time cut where I jump maybe like an hour ahead. I just went AFK. So I'm back. I'm up close and personal this time, trying to map it out, get a bit of more realistic scale to it. But at this moment I realized, wait, the thumb should not be, higher up than the other four fingers. Granted, from perspective it can be, but from the angle I'm working at, it isn't. So I finished building it just so I can go back and look. And yeah, that looks horrible. So of course I destroy a few blocks, place a few blocks, and overall just try to make it look a bit better. So before this point, I've never actually built anything realistic like this, or even perspective based. I've never done optical illusions, nothing like that of the sort. So this is my first time messing with this kind of stuff. And moving around just a few blocks already throws it off to something incomprehensible, which I find to be truly incredible, because it's just so mind-boggling that from this perspective, looks pretty good. But from any other angle, it's a jumbled assortment of messes. Which is pretty cool. we're at the end of the building. The hand is done, and so now we're just texturing. I got a bunch of dirty looking green blocks to use for Springtrap's hand. Probably should have gone a little bit more yellow as the end result almost makes it look like a zombie, but now I'm just taking my time to outline the hand, getting it look nice, kind of laying down the foundation to see what it will look like towards the end. Even though I'm outlining the hand with the darkest green I have, I end up going over pretty much most of it with different colors. I shade with lighter versions of gray or lighter greens, and then I go back on the hand and add the holes where you would see his flesh. So right now I'm putting in the shading wherever I think the sun would be. Right now I'm just shading under his fingers, getting all the dark spots down. Now I'm adding the lighter parts of green to his hand, fading it, adding it around the fingertips where I think the moon would be shining off of it because when walking through this map, I set it to nighttime with the shaders, so the moon is kind of bouncing off the blocks, and where I think it looks best light would be at the fingertips and where the moon is located in the sky, because that all plays a part, but I do my best. So I go back, add just a few more different colors of green for variant. I added darker green around the spots that I knew would be much darker. Now we're going back and we're adding the flesh where I think it would pop through. This is not game accurate at all, but it's kind of just where I want to put it. And these crimson roots that I just placed are actually really important because when the shader pack is turned on, it gives his flesh kind of a glow. Now we're adding the endoskeleton parts that are breaking through the suit. These are actually game accurate, and the observers give more of a shiny metal look to it. And then I'm just adding highlights with a bright yellow, get that kind of suit look back into it. Here I realized that the sign needed to be way, way bigger if it was going to fit the text Fazbear Frights. And right now, as you can see, it only fits Fazbear. So I'm still playing around with the idea of letters falling off the billboard to give it that kind of old, worn down look that I'm going for with the entire build. but I knew that I was going to have to make the billboard so much bigger if I wanted to do the text how I wanted it. If I wanted it to look, you know, good. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I am actually still busy building it. This has taken a few weeks of work. I've been busy with school, my graduation. I graduate in a few days, actually, 3 days, time of recording. So I will keep you guys updated. I released a few posts, a few sneak peeks of how it's going currently. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video and stay tuned to see more. If you enjoyed watching, please drop a like and a subscribe. Have a good day.